My name is Hosea. I'm a prophet in Israel, a land that on the surface is so beautiful and prosperous. But there's one major problem. You see, the nation of Israel, we've forgotten about God. We've forgotten that everything we have is a gift from Him, and we don't thank Him for anything anymore. We've believed the lie that somehow it's our hard work and our industrious spirit that has brought us to this place, that somehow we're entitled to the good things we experience. There's no more compassion, no more mercy. As a matter of fact, we're so busy with our lives that we believe the problems of others, well, they're the problems of others, not my problem. We don't reach out a hand to those who have fallen and stumbled emotionally, who are broken up inside. We don't even care about those who are lost spiritually anymore. And so, God has sent me with a message to this nation, a message that needs to be heard. But these aren't just words that come out of my mouth. This is a message born out of my own experience. You see, I guess it all starts when I got married. I was engaged to this beautiful girl. Her name was Gomer. I mean, she had everything. Now, the weird part of this story is that God told me she would betray me before I even married her. He told me that she would hurt me and reject me and try to find love in the arms of other men. But I know you're going to think I'm crazy. I loved her. And when she walked down that aisle, the look in her face, I knew I wanted to be with her forever. I mean, we had no money, no house of our own, but we were so happy. We had each other. Soon after that, our first child was born, and boy, I asked God, what should I name my son? Because a name for us means everything. A name is a reflection of who the child is, but in this case, the name was to be a reflection of the state of the heart of the people of Israel. God asked me to name him Jezreel. Jezreel, that's a name of shame to us. It's that place where Jezebel, that wicked queen, was pushed out of her window, and the dogs licked up her blood off the streets. It was a reminder of our painful past. And so obediently, I gave my son this name as a reflection that we had forgotten God, that our past had caught up with us. In the course of time, Gomer conceived a second child, a daughter. Again, I asked God, what shall I name my child? And the name He gave was Lo Rachamah, which means not to be pitied. It meant that God would not pity us if we continued in our stubborn rebellion, if we rejected Him. As soon as she was weaned, Gomer gave birth to a third, our final child, and his name was Lo Ami, not my people. God was saying that if we refused Him, we would not be His people any longer, and He would not be our God. You can imagine the anguish of a father who every time he called his children's name was reminded of the nation of Israel, a nation that had stubbornly refused to submit to God, and as a result had brought destruction upon themselves. It was soon after the birth of our third child that Gomer began to live the life God had told me she would. I mean, I'd begun to believe that maybe God had made a mistake, that maybe because we were a happy family and we had children, that Gomer would want to stay with me. But behind my back, she began to find other lovers. It wasn't long after this double life began that she decided to run away. I returned home one day to find a note that God had told me to expect, but it was still so hard. It was a letter from Gomer. She told me that she wanted to move on, that she didn't want to be with me anymore, that she wanted to find her own way. I was torn because in the letter she said I was a great father and a great husband, and that I took great care of her, but that I didn't deserve her. But you know what? I still loved her. Well, over the next few months, I spent every moment thinking about her, looking for her, longing for her to come through that door and for us to be the family that we were meant to be. But days turned into months, and the months turned into years. Oh, I picked up pieces of information here and there from her friends and from the police. Things had gone from bad to worse. The guy she ran away with, turns out he was a drug dealer and a pimp. Gomer had become an addict, and so to feed her addiction, she began to sell her body just to get another fix. All my friends and family said I should give up on her, that she was worthless, that she was nothing, that she had destroyed herself. But I couldn't give up on her. Love compelled me to keep searching. I longed for her to come back. Well, one day I found her. I found out where she was, and so I arranged to meet with this man she was with. When I found him, I asked him how much it would take to get her back. He snorted at me and said, "For how long?" And I said, "Forever." I wanted her forever. Well, he was done with her. Her body was broken and bruised, her spirit crushed with the lie that she was worthless. She looked so lost. So I arranged a price, and I bought her back. And I brought her home to where she belonged. I remember as we walked through the door, she asked me, "Why? Why would you do this for me?" My answer, "Because I love you. Because God loves you."